Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're doing another DaVinci Resolve tutorial, and this one's all about green screens. What we're going to be doing with the green screen is I've taken a video of my cell phone with a green background, and we're going to replace that green background with another video. So you can use this a multitude of different ways. I'm just using this as an example, but the green screen, what it is you mostly see it in special effects, but we actually see it a lot in weather, and the Weather Channel. They stand in front of a green screen, they replace that whole green screen with a video of the weather. So what we'll do today is we'll go ahead and launch DaVinci Resolve. We'll go over how to do the two different methods of using a green screen. You can do it in the Fusion tab, and you can also do it in the Color tab. And thankfully, DaVinci Resolve is extremely flexible. You can do it either way, and there's probably more ways that I'm not familiar with. But these are the two ways that I use, and so I'll show you what I can. And if you already know one of the methods, then I'll put the times in the description of when each of them are, so you can jump to either or that you want to learn about. So I'm going to fire up DaVinci Resolve. Go ahead and get this open. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to need a clip. So we'll drag the clip that I've just taken into the timeline. And as you can see, it's just a clip of my phone sitting on the table. So what I'm going to do now is actually, I don't want to use that whole clip. So since I'm just showing you a section, I'm going to actually take a freeze frame. So just do Shift R, and Shift and R, that actually freezes the whole thing. So no longer is this a full clip. It's a clip of just that one frame. So now I can make it as long as I want. So I'm going to take this and put it into the video 2. And I'm going to take this second video and move it down to the bottom. So this second video, the video that I just put on the bottom, is a video that I did recently for the Atola Visuals Chill Video Challenge. I'll put a link right here so you can check it out. Let me know what you think. But alright, so now we have our video on the bottom that we want to replace this green screen with. So as you can see right now, only thing you see is this phone sitting on the desk. So the first method that we're going to talk through is the Fusion tab, and this is one of my favorites because this is extremely simple, but it adds so much depth and creativity to your videos. You could do so much with this. So I'm not going to go too deep into it, but here's the way we start in the Fusion tab. So you have your media set up here. You're going to make sure media 1 is selected. You'll hit Shift Spacebar and you'll type in the Delta key here. So once you put the Delta key in here, you'll see that it adds into media 1. So now here's where the magic happens. What you're going to want to do is make sure the Delta key is selected. We're going to go into the inspector, and we'll take this background color. It's kind of gray right now, but what you're going to want to do is take this eyedropper and go over here and select the green. But as you can see, as you roll over things in your media, your Delta keyer is wanting to pick up on those objects. So if I had left it on this black, anything that has those RGB values, it'll be keyed out. So it'll just, alpha will be 100% at that point. So we'll go to green because that's the color that we want to take out of this video. So that's it. So as of right now, we have the phone still on the table, everything else is there, but we have the screen is transparent. So what you can do now is go back into the timeline, and as you can see, it's just a black screen. But now if you hit play, let's see what it looks like so far. Alright, so then I need to go down here, make some adjustments. Let's zoom it out. There we go. So now if I hit play, this is what we have, and it looks like the screen is being replaced with the video that we want. So that was it. That's the chroma keying method in the Fusion tab, and the Fusion tab, all it is using that Delta keyer. So now we're going to do the Delta keying in the Color tab instead of the Fusion tab. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this bottom clip. I'm going to go ahead and delete this one as well so we can just start over. So I'll bring my media in with the green screen. I'll go to the frame I want, hit Shift R again to freeze the frame. Bring in the media that we want to replace the green screen with. And now what you're going to want to do is take this green screen clip, go into the color tab, and from here, that's really zoomed in. From here, what you're going to want to do is click over here in your nodes and hit Alt S to create a new serial node. And with that serial node selected, what we're going to do is actually stay in the qualifier tab. The qualifier is where we're going to do all the work. So you see this HSL section over here. We're going to click on this drop down arrow and go down to 3D. So within the 3D section, what you're going to want to do is now make your selection for what colors you want to key out. So you're going to click this little plus button on the qualifier. So now when you go up into your media, you'll have this little eyedropper with the plus sign, and so this means you're going to add in the colors that you want. So what you're going to want to do is draw a line over the colors that you want, and so this is just telling Resolve to pick up on these green colors. And so now that you can see down here, we have this one color of green all keyed. So in our media nodes up here, we see that we have this green selected, but that's not what we want, because if we go back to the timeline right now, nothing will happen. So as you can still see, everything is still selected. So what we need to do is go back into the color tab, right click in the nodes area and hit Add Alpha Output. So this alpha output, you're going to take the blue, drag it all the way to that alpha output, and now you can see that media is keyed out, but everything is keyed incorrectly. So what you're going to want to do is go back down to the qualifier and hit this invert button. So now everything is inverted. So the selection that we made, that green, is gone from the screen, but as you can see, if we zoom in, there's still some green around the edges, so it doesn't look as good as the Fusion keyer did. So what we want to do is denoise and clean up this green. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could scroll in and add that little section right there, but that can get really tedious. So what we'll do instead is go over to the denoise, bump it up slightly, and then we'll clean black. We'll add in a little bit of a blur, not that much. And we'll also clean up the white slightly. So you can see when you clean it up, if I go too high, the green starts to shine through one more time, but if I go down a little bit too far, the phone actually disappears. So I think that's okay right there. I'll zoom out. Let's add a little bit more denoise. Alright, so that looks a little bit better. Let's take back down the blur. It's a little too blurry. Alright, so we'll zoom back out, and now we have the phone replaced, but we're still not done. What we need to do is go back into the timeline, select the bottom clip, zoom out, and do the exact same thing that we just did. Just kind of clean it up a little bit. And so now, as you can see, we have the phone replaced again. So those were the two different methods to use the Delta keyer or your green screens in the videos. Personally, I use the Delta keyer in the Fusion tab more often than the color, but both of them work. You just gotta play around with the settings a little bit more in the color tab. So anyway, that was it. That's how you use the Delta keyer and the green screens within DaVinci Resolve. Let me know what you thought in the comments. If you liked this video or if it helped you out in any way, please like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me understand what kind of videos I need to keep putting out here. And guys, I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of content you can come up with using the green screens and the special effects. But that's it for today, and we'll see you again next time. Thanks, guys.